Good afternoon. This lecture is going to be out of Contemporary Advertising by William F. Ahrens, 16th edition. Uh, this is what the textbook looks like. I chose to do my lecture on two chapters because it's chapters 10 and chapter 11 in the textbook because they were very similar to each other. They were both on relationships and advertising and how you utilize those relationships for sales, for ad campaigns, sponsorships, a list of examples. And since they both built on the whole relationship aspect, I wanted to combine it into one lecture. Now I know for 15 minutes that's not the easiest, but the titles of the chapters themselves are Chapter 10 is Relationship Building, Direct Marketing, Personal Selling, and Sales Promotion. That's going to be on page 304 of the textbook. Chapter 11 is Relationship Building, Public Relations, Sponsorship, and Corporate Advertising, and that will begin on page 336 of the textbook. I wanted to start off with, there's going to be 6 key takeaways from the lecture. And I'm going to have fill-in notes for you. The way the notes work is obviously I will speak, and when you hear an answer to one of the questions in the notes, you will fill in the blank. Me personally, I do this with, or my church does this on Sundays, and I find it helps me to be able to focus on what they're saying and pay attention and not be as worried about writing down every word. You can just write in the key words, and then at the end there will be a list of 5 questions as coursework questions for you to answer on your handout. And then at the end I'll hand out a takeaway sheet that will give a gist of what you learned and just 6 key takeaways for you to make sure you remember going forward. To prepare for your exam on these 2 chapters or quiz on these 2 chapters. For beginners, I wanted to talk about sales promotion and how important it is as a tool for communications. Sales promotion is a major aspect. Being able to sell your product without actually selling it is a key aspect of any sales promotion. People don't want to feel like you're shoving your product down their throat. They won't want to feel like they're being sold to. So your promotion needs to be strategic enough to where your consumers and your target market, your target audience, doesn't feel like they're being taken advantage of or used for personal gain or for their money. Under the same line of thinking, not all sales will be made on a sales call. Some sales, will be made at informal gatherings. Some sales will be made someone's sitting down watching QVC or sitting down watching a commercial, or reading a magazine article about your specific product or good. In these days, there are millions of ways for you to be able to sell an item, and certain promotions target certain specific genres of your target market. For instance, if men is your overall, men that shave. If men that shave are your target audience, and you're trying to promote your product to them, you have razors and shaving cream that you sell, and you're trying to promote to them, you might have a sales promotion where you target specifically with Instagram ads, and you pay Instagram to have your ad show up to men and only men. Now, that's a sales promotion, that won't necessarily reach all of your demographic, because you're 60, 70-year-old men that are still having to shave. They're not going to be on Instagram, and so you may want to put an ad and have a sales promotion in an AARP magazine that they would see. You know, your 60, your 50 and older would see, but your 25 to 45-year-olds wouldn't necessarily see that. So it's just a way to be able to focus more narrowly on a certain subset of your target market. Um, you also want to be able to advertise your product to meet the specific buyer's wants and needs. That's an effective part of advertising that can help with sales. So if your promotion doesn't show, your sales promotion isn't integrating in what the buyer wants or needs, then your promotion is going to be falling. It's going to be falling on deaf ears. People don't want to listen. People these days don't have time to just listen to stuff that they don't think is relevant or important. So if you're not telling them something they want to hear or need to hear that they need to buy, they're not going to pay attention to you. The key to any sales, the key to any sale relies on having a relationship with your customer. Whether that relationship is you two together, or it's a relationship they feel like your product can give them with someone else. For instance, if back to the shaving cream, if you know your ad shows a clean-shaven man and an attractive woman on a date, they may feel not necessarily a relationship with you, but they can relate to, you know, wanting an attractive date, and that by using your shaving cream and your razor, they're going to be able to get a date. So the relationship may not be with you as the company, but the relationship could be with another individual, and you're selling to them based on that relationship. Like I said, promotions are a vital sales tool and can help your product be sold, can help your product flourish. Without promotions, promotions are just one extra layer of being able to get your product out there, get your product out in front of people. Number 3 for your fill-in notes, the best advertisements show how a product meets the buyer's needs and or wants. Excuse me, sorry. We've already gone over this, but it's important to harp on the fact that, again, if you're not selling to someone based on what they want or need, most importantly what they need, then your message is going to fall on deaf ears. And if it's not something they necessarily need, but you can make them think they need it, then you know that's equally as important, because not many things do we actually need, but advertisers do a great job of making us think we need them. Relationships and marketing are a key aspect of any advertisement. That kind of ties in with number 1, but it's a little different when it comes to an advertisement, because when you're having a relationship with an advertisement, it depends on what your relationship is. If it's a relationship your company has with a celebrity, for instance, I have a pair of LeBron James shoes. If Nike didn't have the relationship with LeBron, I wouldn't have a pair of the Nike LeBron James shoes. I would have a pair of Adidas or Puma or New Balance, whoever may be sponsoring LeBron. I would have a pair of their LeBron James shoes. But because Nike has a relationship with LeBron, I have a pair of LeBron shoes.